Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, people. You're back again with Talk Football, here to preview what's happening with Manchester United and Mr. Graham Souness's comments about United and how they have, faced on their first Premier League game. Back again with me is our good friend of the show, Flo. Welcome, Flo. How are you?
Hello, gents. You guys okay? Hope you're having a good Tuesday.
Brilliant Tuesday for me, to be honest. Uh, However, Flo, how was the game for you with regards to Manchester United on Saturday?
I think they 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. From the way they have introduced Varane, I think it was very tactical masterclass.
Hmm.
Maestro, well done to the Glazers, whoever organized this. 75,000 fan at Old Trafford. Induction of Rafael Varane just boosted the crowd, followed by a next outstanding performance. High scoring goals, 5-1. Pogba, 4 assists, hat trick from Bruno Fernandes. Wow, way to start the season. Like you just sending a message for the rest of the Premier League. Say, like, the United is not going to be an easy game at Old Trafford now if the fans are back, because the noise are hard. The 12 player are there now. He's fantastic as a United fan. I would have been joyful if I was one, and well done to them. Absolutely brilliant.
We have also extended our invitation to Tilina, our resident United fan, as well. So he's tied up with some work today. Hopefully, he can make it to the stream. It would be nice to see his angle uh, of the game as well. Uh, in in my opinion, I think United just laid a marker to the whole uh, of Premier League. I think that boy Greenwood had an amazing game with his experience and doing what he has to do in order to get that goal. Bruno Fernandes doing Bruno Fernandes things. Paul
Yeah,
Pogba finally expressing himself in the United shirt. For me,
I think
it's
he has done
just
it before. I think for me, Pogba has shined, but the media is always against him.
Mm,
He hasn't had the media on his side. Even now, the pundits, even scoring 4 assists, they still question whether he's going to be sustained for the rest of the season this way. Whereas Bruno Fernandes scored a hat trick, and everyone just talked, wow, how sublime he
yeah,
was. But and without having
he's
any negativity into Bruno Fernandes, but there will, a bad publicity for Pogba is, I think that's something he will have to accept. And personally, I think Mika Richard, one of the pundit, he went viral with Roy Keane, saying why people are always against Pogba. What's wrong with him? The guy is just being sublime. Give him the love,
mm,
and he will produce. That's all he needs. He doesn't need any bad press. The guy, he's the one who will. He is a World Cup winner. He's
yeah,
proven what he's doing for France, the best team in the world. France by far on paper, like,
yeah.
unquestionable. Every players, even the B team of France, even the C team of France, can beat any other team easily. This is how good the French squad, and he is a pillar for France. And to
Oh,
have
100%.
pundits who never won a World Cup as well, who don't even, who are nowhere near his performance, judging him for what he does. Come on, I don't like it personally because I think he's so underrated. People don't talk high enough of him, and in fact, I would actually dedicate a podcast for him only, because
Oh yeah, 100%. I
the
wouldn't
guy,
like it.
he's so, and I get frustrated. I got very close friends, who don't like Pogba because
Hmm.
they just don't like him because he got character. He got big Instagram followers.
Hmm.
He is someone. Just give him the love, let him enjoy his football, and this is what he's going to produce.
Um, That's one of the points that I want to touch on here, Flo. Uh, Mr. Graham Souness,
Yeah, typical.
KJ in the Football Terrace and in Midnight Vibes mentioned it correctly. Graham Sourness. That just cracked me.
Don't forget Manchester.
What
Grandson is
what
a
more can you
Liverpool.
do that?
He is a Liverpool bias. He will
Oh
always vote
yes.
for Liverpool. And you got Pogba playing for, because if Pogba was doing the same thing at Liverpool, trust me, his commentary will
Oh.
be completely a different version.
Mm. And the thing is, his comments were Greenwood did excellently, which I agree. I think you agree as well. Bruno was Bruno, and his comments on Pogba was, "We expect this from £100 million man." I mean, Jack Grealish is £100 million man. Pogba
Maguire,
went for 89
Harry
million,
Maguire, what happened
right?
to him then?
Yeah, Harry Maguire, that's one, right? This what do you call Pogba was 89 million, not 100 million in as far as I remember. And
Yeah.
sorry, I'm just checking the fifth stand up on Chelsea as well because I think there is some activities happening today. Uh, and also, how? What do you mean you expect this? For an example, I would like to say this, right? Uh, Virgil van Dijk, almost £100 million player, right? That means we expect him not to let anybody score any goals against Liverpool. Is this what he's trying to say?
You know,
How
you know,
much? How much was
people
Allison
one 70,
worth?
75, I think 70 or 75 as well, something along that line. 70
Right.
million
That
above.
means he should save every single shot that comes across to him. Right. This is where I find this ridiculous. What do you mean? Just because he's £100 million player, that he has to have a four assists? What more does he have to do
I mean, he is a
to
player. He
prove
won the
himself?
Champions League himself. He won the league back in the days with Liverpool. He
Mm.
should know better that it's
Oh,
football is
exactly
the
right.
team is a team damn sports. You work as a
Mm.
team. You got 11 players on the pitch. You work together as an army, as one battalion, not just one player because of his etiquette of 100. I mean, don't forget. I mean, is when you value a player, it's not just based on his performance. It's based that's there's a whole package with him. There's a marketing package, sell on T-shirt, and who he
Mm.
is. And I mean, example Ronaldo. If you got, in fact, I saw some rumors that Ronaldo might. There's rumors that United are interested in CR7
Mm.
Cristiano, and he. I mean, he's not worth 100 million anymore. Far too
No.
big. He's not. He even less. I mean, he's just an average player now. But his portfolio, his CV, his resume says something else because he's a marketing figure. He's a good looking man. He's a marketing figure. Pogba may not have the looks, but he got something else. He's not just the 89 million. I mean, why they bought for 89 million? Because he's a top player at Juventus.
Mm. Exactly
And
right.
United should
Exactly right.
never, and Alex Ferguson he's made a mistake by selling him on for nothing,
Mm.
for peanuts to Juventus.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And I just don't know what more Pogba has to do to get some credit from this guy.
He has
It's
to score
just
10 goals.
ridiculous.
Every game, 10 goal, 10 goal, 10 goal, 10 goal. Then people might say, oh, you know what? He's a good player. But other than that,
No,
I mean, don't
It's
forget,
it's
at the same time, he's French, right? Coming from an English pundit, the French and the British, we have all stories. We got a long, we always got banter. We've been bantering each other for a long time. And
yeah. For
it will be like
me.
this for the rest. It is how it is. But I think Graham Souness, he's never been a 100 million player. He's never been a top draw player, ultimate player. So I don't think
I mean, he was
he's
a
a
good
position.
player. It's nothing
He's a
taken
good
away from
player.
Graham Souness.
Has
Good
he
player.
was he any near to win a Euros or a World Cup? I mean, Pogba was finalist of the World Cup of the Euros last time. This time they failed in the quarterfinal, but he scored the third goal and he made a mistake, and everyone went on him. When in fact the defense should have done a better job as well. Because when
Oh yeah.
you got 4 minutes left against Switzerland, you don't take Griezmann off it. I mean, that's something else. I don't want to talk about that game how it went, but
Mhm.
one mistake from Pogba doesn't mean that they have to concede 2 goals. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
and
Like you know the fact that what I find most ridiculous is that do you see the way they talk about Harry Kane, for an example? They say, oh, he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he is the perfect player, he is this,
so as
he is
Pogba,
that,
Pogba don't drink as
right?
well. He don't smoke.
Pogba doesn't drink. Pogba doesn't smoke. He's a Muslim, for crying out loud. He's forbidden by the religion that he follows, and he is the only thing that he does differently to Harry Maguire is that he just dances around the pitch. He likes to express himself. I just don't understand what's wrong with it. It's
People
just
don't like it.
ridiculous.
He that's his character. People have to accept it. Either you like him or you hate him. And Law Pandey don't like him because I mean he's an exciting player. The guy have Pogba in your dressing room.
You know something that I want to add as well. Pogba Pogba is in almost the same situation as of Harry Kane right now. Harry Kane wants to move to Manchester City. What did Harry Kane do? Harry Kane
Mhm.
went on strike, and they
Yeah.
still say that he is doing the right thing by doing this. Right? Okay,
And
fine. He may be doing the
he had
right
an
thing.
interview.
He,
He had an interview with Gary Neville and openly said to the media that he had a gentleman agreement with Daniel Levy to say that
Mhm.
if Tottenham do not win any cup this season, he's going next year. He openly said it. I mean, how many years we heard stories about Pogba leaving to Real Madrid, leaving to
Yeah.
Barca, to leaving to back to Juve, going to Paris. We've been hearing. Has he ever commented once against that? Never. The guy reported
No,
to a training. He played every single game, and he's on the first game of the season came with four. He could have scored a
he
goal, the
showed
first
up.
goal. He could have scored.
He showed
He
up.
showed up. The other one just no.
He
Don't
showed
even
up. He
compare.
literally
Prophet.
showed
You
up
want to talk about
because
prophet? You know, people is easy to criticize. Like Harry Kane being an example. I mean, what's wrong with Pogba? What do you do?
mm,
Like you mentioned, he loved dancing. Harry Kane is not a dancer.
yeah,
I mean,
he might be the perfect person for Graham Souness or Gary Neville or
and
whoever
that's
it is,
why
right?
street footballers. I always talk about street footballers. One of the reasons street footballers are better. I mean, look at Brazil. If you can do like capoeira, if you're good with salsa, you got moves, you got natural move. That's in you. It's like
Yeah,
you in built to
Pogba does
move.
that on the pitch.
He dance on the pitch, and when you dance on the
Mm,
pitch, that's one the fan. That's entertainment.
mm.
It's entertainment. That's why people like that, and that's always been the case. Why Brazilian football has been so popular over the years, from Pele to you name it. I mean, so many players on the list that we can't even.
Rivaldo, Cafu, Roberto
Even
Carlos.
all the time from those days. I mean, and that's why people love Brazil. That's why they
Mm.
love Brazil because of
They express
the flair.
they express
Yeah, they
themselves on the
enjoy.
pitch.
They
That's the
play
most
football with a
important thing.
smile. They play football with a
Mm,
smile, not just a robo. I mean, why you? I mean, let's go back to youthness. Why do you
mm.
play football? Because you good at it and because you enjoy football.
Exactly right.
You
Exactly right.
enjoy the game that you play. You enjoy taking on players. You enjoy kicking the ball. You do a kick about. You do a bit of banter with your friends when you do a nutmeg. These things
Mm,
happens, and I'm sorry to say, Harry Kane. I mean, I love him. Don't get me wrong. I love Harry Kane. I think
mm.
he's a top striker. He's a
He's an
clinical
excellent
striker.
player.
He's a clinical striker, but he doesn't have the flair. Nothing like
No,
it.
you're right.
He
You're right.
very boring player. Very boring player.
See, Harry
And
Kane,
question
everything is all good.
again, Sona's questioning his professionalism on Pogba there's absolutely no
exactly,
difference. In fact, Pogba turned
exactly
up,
right.
like you mentioned. You clearly say he showed up and he didn't.
this is my problem with all of this. Right, fine, you criticize Pogba for not showing up during some seasons. That's fine, you can criticize people, that's all well and good. It is acceptable in this day and age, and Pogba is strong enough to take his criticisms and so on and so forth, right? But how dare you criticize Pogba and then in the same breath say that what Harry Kane is doing is completely right in this stage, because Harry Kane went on strike saying no, I don't want to play, and where Pogba finds himself in the same situation, he still turns up for United, plays one of the best games I've seen him play in a United shirt for I don't know 3-4 years. Uh, Comes up with 4 assists, and they are not bad assists as well. They are sublime assists. The first pass towards Bruno Fernandes, inch perfect. Bruno is a finisher, and Bruno also can pass at the same time. But Bruno literally had nothing to do. Pogba just gave it on a plate to him to score. Then
Yeah.
the
No,
pass to Fred.
Bruno Fernando has done well. Control from the right and kicking and volley from the left. That's wonderful.
No, that's what I mean. Like this
But
pass enabled it.
this only top players can do that. And Pogba proved
Exactly
that
right.
he's a top player. Proved that he's a top player. And
Mm.
when two top players connect each other without looking at each other, perfect.
Oh yes,
That's
exactly
magic.
right. And it's just Graham Souness being Graham Souness. He's not. I would officially like to say on Talk Football from today onwards. It is not going to be Graham Souness. It is going to be Graham Souness. His mighty Souness is the worst, pardon my French, is the worst fucking guy I've ever seen to criticize people and on the same breath talk good about uh, Harry Kane. If you're gonna treat somebody with respect and exactly the same way that you're gonna treat the other person as well. If you're gonna say what Harry Kane is doing is completely right, Pogba is doing it much better, and he's proving it day in and day out by
Nah.
showing up to training.
I mean, in fact, I would love him to criticize Harry Kane. Why Alan Shearer do not criticize Harry Kane? We all know the reason why, but I don't want to talk about it. But
Yeah, they won't criticize him. They will not criticize him because I think Gary Neville, he is looking at something else. He just wants to do something else maybe in the future. Um, uh, it's just I just don't understand it. You know something else, Flo? What I feel like Gary Neville should be coming in to defend Paul Pogba, being a person who represented and captained Manchester United for such a long years, won championships with them. He should be defending Paul Pogba, not Micah Richards. Micah Richards played for Manchester
Man
City.
City as well, the opposite.
It's the opposite. He
But he's been
shouldn't.
non-biased. Mikavic has been a non-biased, and he
I
gave
love
genuine
Micah Richards
opinion.
for what
I
he
love
did.
the way he speaks. He's very honest about his opinion, and
Exactly right.
I like Gary
It's
Neville as well. He's just Graham Souness. I don't even know what he's mentioned. I think
he's
he just want to show that this is how it is. If you're 100 million, you're 100 million. Okay, how many 100 million have not showed up?
mm,
I mean, Jack
exactly
Grealish
right.
first day, Jack Grealish. What do? Nothing.
Jack
I love the
Grealish
player,
got
but
pocketed. Jack Grealish got pocketed by Tanganga, who is an academy product of Tottenham. He didn't even pocket only Jack Grealish. He pocketed Raheem Sterling as well at the same time. It's ridiculous to see what this guy is saying, because for me, right, that was a brilliant
I think
game. Just
Pogba is
leave
too
it at it.
nice. Pogba, he let them talk. He's not going against any pundit. Very rarely you see him making a statement. But I think if he was a Zlatan, for example, who received
Hmm.
this type of
Oh,
command, you will hear that. You will hear that from
yeah.
him.
Zlatan won't keep quiet. He will say something. Not something. He will show something to Graham Souness. Because for me, this needs to stop, because Pogba needs to get the respect he deserves. This might be the last season he would play in the Premier League. There has been reports that Pogba might be receiving close to 600,000 euros a week at PSG next year. They're trying to get him in. And also, there is reports saying that PSG is
Real
trying to get
Madrid
Cristiano Ronaldo as well. Uh, and
for
uh,
PSG.
and they're working on a deal to work with Mbappe to Real and then Cristiano to uh, this. I don't know how it would happen or not, but it is. I mean, we never thought that bloody Messi would end up in PSG, but he is. He's, that's what happens. But with regards to United, I've got nothing but praise with regards to what they did. They put down a marker. They showed the other teams that they are capable of competing in the highest level. Uh, I think Bielsa is one thing is you can't take much from this game as well because Bielsa is Bielsa. He doesn't change the way he
You know,
plays. Doesn't
like I
matter
said,
whether it's 6-2 or
I knew it's
7-2.
going to be a high scoring line. And even on my previous podcasts and my last two previous podcasts, I knew that United is going to score 4 goals and above.
Yeah, no,
Because on the
no, you're
preseason, the way they
absolutely
played,
right.
I watched their game, and they play attacking football. I mean, and this is what I mean. Man United been crying for this type of football for years. Since
Hmm.
Ferguson's gone, you haven't seen attacking football, and now you see that
No,
football is. I mean, everyone loves attacking football. Everyone loves it, and the way they've attacked Greenwood. I mean, everyone prays. I mean, everyone deserve a good pat. First game, well done. Now let's go to the second
hmm,
game. Now, be
yeah,
a professional. Just move on. Happy days. First one, amazing start. You can't go wrong with
hmm.
that. Boom. Now, game two. Now,
It is
37
game
more
two.
game
The
left.
only the only thing I would say that they did not finish the game with a clean sheet, but then you can't finish the game with a clean sheet because that strike was tremendous.
Nobody touched that.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
nobody.
It was holy shit. I was
No,
watching the game and I was like, oh
that was
wow.
a bullet. That was a bullet.
it it was pretty good. It was like more than pretty good. It was freaking amazing what he did. However, moving on, uh, United will be adding to this squad. They've got Rafael Varane to come into the squad as well. So he will be partnering up with Harry Maguire. Seems like Lindelof has raised his game a bit as well. He
I
played
think
a very,
people talk
very
about
good
Lindelof.
pass.
I think Lindelof been getting a lot of criticism. A lot of criticism for the last few months,
I mean, some
and
deserved criticism,
some
some not.
deserve, some absolutely. I mean, every you can have a bad game and you have good game. But one thing I do not like when people criticize players when they have good games. When they have good game, praise them.
Hmm,
Don't bring negativity onto them. Praise them.
exactly right.
Lindelof,
And how
Lindelof was
hard could it
amazing.
be just to say, he had a good game, and that's the end of it? How hard can it be?
I mean, just praise him. The guy that I mean, he's a professional, not for anything. He's paid 50, 78K, 70K a week, not for anything, because he's a top player. Otherwise, he won't be
Hmm.
paid that much. He won't be playing for United. Simple.
Oh, exactly right. Exactly right. But Rafael Varane coming into the team, that I mean, Lindelof being in good form as well. If they need to play
He's the
somebody in
best. I
defense,
mean, you need that. You need that.
it
It's good.
so it just raises the game for the other defenders. I think Maguire was solid at the back as well. He just did well. Luke Shaw continuing his form into the new season. I did feel like Wan Bissaka needs a little bit of game time as well. Maybe a couple of games into the season, he'll do Wan Bissaka things. What he does. Um, Fred and McTominay played well, but then it's it did feel like Leeds was like one step behind every time they tried to play a pass. Rafinha wasn't on his game as well, so it's a bit hard to judge uh, how they
I
played.
mean,
But
listen,
McTominay had a massive game though. Whew,
I think they all did.
he did well.
I think they all had a wonderful, wonderful game. And I think as a fan of the Premier League, everyone is happy. Even me being an
Mm,
Arsenal fan, I think it was an amazing start of the Premier League. No draws, no
no draws,
draws,
no draws,
no draws.
no
So
draws.
all win, 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 and high scoring line. We expected high scoring line, but it was an entertainment. I mean, even the Burn, Burnley, Brighton top game. It
Brexit
was a good
exit,
game.
Brexit FC.
It was a top game. I mean, Norwich, Liverpool, amazing game. I mean, Chelsea, Chambola done an amazing job.
Oh,
Chambola. I mean, the whole. I
is
mean,
incredible.
all the winners. I mean, it was a good game, both sides.
And also, this team will be adding more quality as well when Rashford comes in from his surgery. Once it's all healed up, and when he's ready to come, it's just adding more into this team. You got Cavani coming in as a striker as well. So, I mean, you got to say that they're one of the favorites, isn't it?
Apparently, there are rumors. Again, rumors that Juve do not want CR7 anymore, probably because of
Mm.
the wage bill. To because they want to bring Locatelli,
Locatelli,
Locatelli, and they don't even have the funds to buy him. So I think for
35
Florida,
million. Just imagine they don't have 35 million floor to spend.
that shows you how bad COVID has hit every club and businesses along with that.
Mm.
We all affected by it. I think the pandemic has. I mean, we should be shocked and be impressed with the clubs who has invested money
Mm.
during the pandemic because look at Barca, they're about to be bankrupt. Real about to be bankrupt. About to be bankrupt. So many Premier League clubs as well, Championship club in France, Germany. Nobody, I mean, nobody can do what the Premier League is doing.
Yeah,
Nobody.
but Flo, one thing I have to add to what you were saying. My theory always about football clubs were if a club is badly run, right? If a club is badly run and mismanaged, they will fall off no matter how big they are. Case in
Yes,
point,
but you
look
took
what
a
happens to
but you
Barcelona. Look what happened to Real Madrid. Why they needed the Super League is because they were mismanaged. Can you imagine paying Antoine Griezmann close to 600 to 700,000 euros a week?
too much.
Antoine Griezmann doesn't deserve that amount of money.
Have you seen
Frankie De
yesterday's?
Jong,
Have you
400,000
seen?
pounds a week. What?
Did you watch yesterday the president of Barcelona
Oh yeah,
making
Laporte saying 2.2 billion. This is
and going
not
against the
right.
previous president, saying that he mismanaged the club, like he absolutely run the club to death.
Exactly right. Exactly right. See, it's easy to win things when you're in a league where there is only two teams or one team or so on
And look
and
at
so
what they've
forth.
done
Same
to
thing.
Coutinho. Coutinho, what happened to
Yeah,
Coutinho? Look at him. They paid
Coutinho has nowhere else to go.
100 on million. And well, apparently there's rumors that Aubameyang might go to Barca and
Mm,
Coutinho might come in the other way. I don't
Yeah,
know
but
about how much truth is in that,
but
but let's see.
if you look at it, Flo, thank God clubs like Arsenal are in the Premier League, right? It's I just don't see a difference between how Barca is managed and Arsenal is managed because they have been overpaying players for no apparent reason. Today, Granit Xhaka put pen to paper for a new 5-year deal.
That's too much.
Granit Xhaka shouldn't be signing for 5 years. I understand 2 years. It's fine because you
Yeah,
can't
give him
land
an
your
extension
players.
of 2 years, 2 years, and I
Five
think
years.
I don't know. I mean, he's a leader in and out. Yes, he looks like Mikel Arteta and Edu believe in him. So as the previous manager, I mean, they all like Granit Xhaka for some reason. I think he is a good player. He's definitely a good player.
Mm.
I think probably he might be a better player if he got other people around him, like better players around him. Because there's too many kids in Arsenal, way too many kids. There's not enough character, and this is what we miss. We don't have characters.
Mm.
Even Aubameyang, I love that striker, but when you lose, shout on your players. Come on, pick them up. I want to see some motivation from the captain, the
Yep.
old the old school captain. It seems that now the new generation have been the way they have been conducting themselves as captain, just as good player. Whereas
Mm.
them days, even the best player would not be the captain. It
Yeah,
would be the person who got a voice.
exactly right. No, I
Like
completely agree
I
with
mean,
you.
look at Roy Keane was the captain for a while, and
Oh,
he was. Look at him. I mean, Roy Keane was not a wow player, far to be. He was just a good leader. He was a
yeah,
his team spirit lift the whole team. If someone goes like mentally down, he would slap the player. By
yeah.
2021, you can't slap a
Roy was an animal.
yeah. But now you can't do that because now you if someone who's 30 years old slap a kid who's 18 years old
Oh
just to
yes,
motivate him,
well,
it will be
he'll
fiasco.
be mentally down. To be honest, as mate, right now it's a bit of a it's a different day and age.
You
So
know,
it
I remember a
players
while
need
ago.
to.
I remember years back. I just cannot remember the coach name. He slapped every player who entered the pitch on his face just to boost them. Pa,
Hmm.
pa, pa, just to boost the morale. Like, be brave, show heart, be brave. That's what
It's
we
as I
want.
said, it's a different day and age we live in right now. So there are things
Peace
that
and
are
love. Yeah.
acceptable, things that are not acceptable. I understand what you're saying because I came in from that type of background. So for me, it's not the biggest thing in the world, but it is what it is. But at the end of the day, i- at the end of the day, like even praising a player after a good game goes a long way, and that was one of the themes of what we were speaking about today. And Graham Souness, he knows that his Liverpool side is only one injury from having another mediocre season. What do they have in relation to squad depth? Nothing.
You got a small
Virgil
squad.
van Dijk, yeah,
I
very
mean,
small
top team,
squad.
top team. Liverpool are amazing. I
No,
love Liverpool the way
so
they
the
play. They're
first
fantastic.
11
But
is brilliant. The first 11 of Liverpool is brilliant.
but the bench is not as strong. He hasn't got a big
After
bench.
that, you're playing one of the hardest leagues in the world. Not one of the, I would say the hardest leagues, the most competitive leagues in the world. And then on top of that, you got three cup competitions, two cup competitions in the Carabao Cup, or I don't know what it is now. Then you got the FA Cup, and then you got the Champions League, right? How are you going to compete with such a thin squad? Right now, Genie Wijnaldum has left. They have not replaced Genie, right? What would happen
But what a move for
if
him, huh? What a move. He went
oh,
to
brilliant
PSG and he
move.
got Messi playing.
Brilliant move. Brilliant move. Just imagine if something happens to Van Dijk, they got Konate, but you already know the replacements that they have for Virgil van Dijk in Konate and Matip. Matip, if wind blows like hard enough, Matip's legs would be broken. That's how injury prone Matip is. Konate, same thing. He's got muscular injuries that has been happening to him over and over and over again, even at RB Leipzig. So you got two injury prone players, and Naby Keita. I don't think I've seen him play 10 games for Liverpool.
We haven't
Injury
seen
prone.
enough of him. We haven't seen enough of him.
Oxlade Chamberlain, when he was at Arsenal, he was quite consistent, but when he went into Liverpool, injured again. Maybe there is something wrong with Liverpool's medical staff. I don't know. But even in the front line, right? If something happens to Salah or Mane or Firmino, they got Diogo Jota, but Diogo Jota is, I think, playing in midfield now. If something happens to that front three, who do they have to replace? Divock Origi? Is
Absolutely.
that good enough? That's not good
They need
enough. No, no, that's not good enough, isn't it, Flo?
no, not good enough. I think a team like Liverpool should have a bigger squad. And I think Klopp is relying too much on his players to way too much effort.
Mm. It's ridiculous to see. This team won the Premier League 2 years ago, and this team won the Champions League 3 years ago. As the owners of this club, they should reinvest to strengthen the squad, to compete on all four fronts. You don't want to wait another 30 years to win another Premier League, right? Do it while
Absolutely
you
not.
can. Mo Salah is not signing a new contract because he knows that he can go to Real Madrid or some other place without any
How old is Mo
problem.
Salah? He's still young. I don't think he's reached his 30s yet, no?
No, Mo
28?
Salah is somewhere like 28, 29. So he will be moving on pretty soon as well because he's not signing on a new contract. He is, I think, one of the worst things that Chelsea ever did, letting him go. But and
That's how it
that
is,
feeds.
That you don't
But
know.
then that feeds into my point. He had an elite mentality. Went into Italy, played for Fiorentina, then played
Roma, no?
for I don't know,
Roma.
played for Roma, made his move to the Premier League, and set the world on fire. Elite mentality. I respect Mo Salah for that. Such a humble man, such a brilliant football. He can do everything. But people who say that Mo Salah was he's better than Eden Hazard, I beg to differ. For me, Eden Hazard number one. That always will be, and there is no way of
I mean,
changing my
Eden
mind.
Hazard
Eden Hazard is Eden
was,
Hazard.
I don't know. I mean, I heard now, I see that Eden Hazard is coming back into form.
Mm.
Because I think
I'm
the
talking about Eden Hazard, Chelsea,
fitness,
right?
I
Not
think
Real
that,
Madrid.
but the fitness instructor of Chelsea has moved to Real Madrid.
Mm.
So, and they have a very good connection. And it looks like now Hazard, very lazy player on training, very lazy guy.
Oh no, he doesn't train at all.
Yeah, he's like a Ronaldinho. They just
He doesn't want to
believe
train.
believe in the skill, and they will come on. They'll party the whole week. I mean, he doesn't party as much, but they will just come on train to have fun, and boom, just score a couple of goals, be the man of the match on over the weekend.
Yeah, Eden Hazard, whatever he did, like what the player he was at Chelsea is undeniably one of the best players I've ever seen. That this era is he was incredible for Chelsea. That's the Eden Hazard that I remember. So
Eden Hazard
and he
parents
won
used
two
to.
Premier Leagues as well.
Eden Hazard's parents played
Yep,
football as well. Even
yep,
his mom, when I think she played for him for the national team, the mom.
yep,
And
yep.
when she was pregnant of Eden Hazard, she was still playing
Still
football.
playing for the team. Yeah, playing football. And for me, Eden Hazard, for me, he's different type. At Chelsea, for me, Eden would be always here. It won't change. I hope you remember the goal that he scored against Arsenal, beating five players in Maurizio Sarri's season. I think Coquelin. He put Coquelin on his back, and he just went alone and scored that goal. That was remarkable, and he did some wonderful things for Chelsea, and he won so many trophies as well at Chelsea, and that's that with Eden Hazard and a player who you love and wanted maybe at Arsenal as well. Tammy Abraham has moved on to Roma.
No, confirmed, not yet.
He's completed his medical and it's completed.
Okay, but I think it's still not completed because completing a medical doesn't mean that the player has signed yet because he got an agreement with Arsenal as well.
No, no, it just came on the Chelsea website that it's all done. He signed with Roma, and it's all done. That he's moving to Italy. So that's what I was checking on my phone. Ooh, that means this takes Chelsea's summer earnings to 100 million from play on just selling players, and Romelu Lukaku's signature, where
And I think
it
Kunde is
doesn't
going to
see.
happen anytime this week. I think Jules Conte.
Yep, I think Kunde is happening as well this week. I think they're waiting for Kurt Zuma, but it's not that we might be in breaching of financial fair play in the European standard if we sign Kunde. If we do sign him, I think it's a FFP breach in the Premier League. So we are looking to sell a couple of more players or get something like Kunde in and then sell a couple of more players or something like that. But whatever said and done, Kunde is happening. I think this week it seems like it's a done deal. However, Kunde comes in or Kunde doesn't come in doesn't make much of a difference. It has been a good. We have a good defense, but To be honest, with Manchester United's display this weekend, worried me a bit, Flo. It has been a bit of a. I have been thinking about it quite a bit, but it has been a bit of a worry for me. And also, the part that worries me a bit more is if you see the sides, Manchester City has got some tough fixtures for the next 5 games. Uh, Liverpool has the same type of things. Tottenham has the same way. Arsenal also has a very tough fixture list. Chelsea, by far, has the toughest. We have to play Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City, and Tottenham. And right now, for Manchester United, it seems like it's fairly simplistic. Uh, but some of these teams are going to be dropping points in the next 5-6 fixtures, and Manchester United will need to capitalize on these things because they will be facing a little bit of a harder Christmas period, looking at their fixtures. But it is looking peak, man. It's I'm already feeling the pressure. I think you're on mute, Flo. Uh no, no. Maybe refresh your stream. Uh, but yeah, as I was saying, it doesn't look that. It's fairly difficult for Chelsea, Manchester United, and Manchester City and Liverpool for the next 5-6 fixtures because it's gonna be it's looking peak, to be honest, and we do need to collect as many points as possible within this period of time as well. All teams will be looking to collect as much points as possible within this period of time. However, I believe if Chelsea or City or Liverpool are able to get through this period of time without any problems, they will be in a great shout to win the league. The Chelsea fan in me, I'm saying we're gonna do it.
Apologies, guys. Had some
Oh,
technical
there's no
issue.
worries. No
Uh,
worries.
but back on track.
Now I was say talking about the fixtures. Oof, looks very scary to me, to be honest.
Shall
And
we go through some other games? What happened on Saturday and Sunday?
oh yeah, um, what was the other game that
We had Liverpool,
what
Norwich. I mean,
Liverpool Norwich?
Aston Villa versus
Oh,
Watford. What a
Aston
performance from
Villa
Watford!
versus Watford.
What a
What a
performance from
performance!
Watford!
Actually, true. That guy Ismail Assar is just incredible, isn't it? Oof,
He was
what a
outstanding.
player!
But have you
What
seen
a player!
Sa? Sa, the one on the wing. Oh my gosh, he
Yeah,
was
yeah, Ismail
absolutely.
Assar.
He was a killer. He was a killer. He was everywhere.
What do you think um, about what do you call Norwich's chance? The new boys who are promoted to the Premier League. What do you think their chances are to stay in the Premier League after looking at their performances? Like it's, I mean, Norwich had the toughest opponent out of all three in Liverpool. But what do you think the chances are?
I mean, he's not going to be easy. He's not good. But you never know because lately, for some reason, every promoted team kept on doing well in the league, in the Premier League.
Mm.
So, and the Premier League teams have difficulty to maintain the 40 points.
Yeah.
Hello
Welcome
everyone.
back, Tilina.
What's up? Sorry, I got late. I got caught up with some work.
No worries,
Do
bro.
continue, Flo. I'll join in.
Now we're just saying about Norwich. Norwich, not going to be easy. The Canaries have been known to be in the Premier League for many years. Pukki, he's the number 9 striker. They haven't lost many players, to be honest. They got a very good squad, very complete squad. Whether they're going to remain, I mean, the key thing, if any team can reach 40 points on the league,
Mm.
it's you're qualified. Like, you're not going to be a relegated. That's 100%. So it's a matter of luck as well. Like if you
Yeah.
got momentum, if you got good momentum, if the fans are behind you as well, because that matters as well. You might, I mean, look at Sheffield United. This is exactly, the year that when the fans were there, wow, performance they done a season. They were top 10,
Yeah. As soon as
and
the
the
fans left.
next season, boom, the relegation. And
Exactly
and
right.
and they're so desperate. They're trying to sell the goalkeeper for 30 million plus to us, to Arsenal, which is way over market.
And also, Till, I would love to hear your thoughts about the game and Mr. Savanas's thoughts when you heard it. And also, with regards to, I was talking with Flo as well with regards to the fixtures that the top six teams have. It is going to be like a tough ask for the top six teams to be competing within the next 5 6 games, because Chelsea playing City, Arsenal, because Arsenal turns up during derby games, whatever said and done, and also Tottenham and Liverpool, and it's the same with Liverpool and Manchester City as well. And United do have a fairly simplistic run of games within this period as well. So I think they should be trying to collect as many points as possible within this period of time.
Yes, 100%. We had a bad start last season, and because of that, I think it's important that we get off to a good start. Speaking on the next round of fixtures, we do have, I think, Southampton. I think that will be relatively an okay game, but I think they have something to prove because we got 9 past them last time. So they might be looking for some payback as
I've
well.
seen that.
uh, so let's see. I have a feeling that it might be an easy run out, but then again, the crowd is back, like you mentioned, so it might be difficult, not as easy as last time. And in terms of Graham Souness's comments, I mean, I got
He's
nothing to
not
say.
Graham Souness anymore. His name is
Sourpuss.
Graham Savanas.
I
Mr.
met him.
Savanas.
I met him so many times. Because he fly a lot because he does punditting for Ben and Sports. So I met him. Him, Alan Shearer. I used to meet them probably once, twice a month, easy, because they were flying. They well paid to do some commentary there. So, I mean, no comments, but the wife is a bit of a flirt. I tell you that. She's top lady. Don't get me wrong. She's not doing anything wrong with anyone, but she got the control of Sourness. So I think he's just taking his anger on the media because he
On
can't
Paul
control
Pogba.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I tell you that. I shouldn't say this thing, but allow it. I can allow. I might as well just put that out of the notch. So he should control his mouth and be focused on some other stuff. But gents, just
Yeah.
quickly, I will have to go. I've got some important stuff to do. I cannot stay any longer.
No worries at all.
So we carry on. And any fans, thank you very much. Talk football, please smash the like button, subscribe, follow on Twitch. I do the admin work on behalf of Avanta today.
No worries at
Please
all, Flo. So something
support
that I
us.
want to
We are
also
looking
say.
good. We try to make an entering in this market. Not easy, but we'll go there organically and with all our command and our expertise, we'll follow up as much as we can.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see Flo will join us hopefully at the end of this week to preview the Chelsea Arsenal game as well, which would be good. So Flo, thanks for joining in, bro. Me
Thank you,
and Tirina
guys.
will take it over from here.
No problem. We catch up soon. Take care, guys. Thank
Yeah.
you.
all right, take care, Phil.
So yeah, bro.
yeah, as I was saying, I think it might be best if people need to call out Graham Souness on his comments, because that's like absurd. Still going on about how great British players are, and then taking the piss out of foreign players.
His
That's, I
royal
think, very wrong.
savannahs.
Yeah, I think the internet is reacting, but I think there needs to be more of a reaction because he seems to be picking on Paul Pogba at this point. I mean, 4 assists. What do you want, right? If I mean, there are players who have been paid much more. For example, uh, his own club paid 50 million for Andy Carroll, so things like that. But the
No, this
guy
is
seems
my
to
point, bro. I was saying this earlier as well, right? How much did Virgil van Dijk was paid to bring into the club? How much was Allison paid to bring into the club? That means nobody should be able to even score against them. You expect it
exactly.
from them.
Yeah, exactly. And let's be honest, Liverpool are not the defensive, um I don't know, like fortress that everyone talks about. I
This
mean, they
is
are leaking
this is
goals.
this is communist Merseyside, bro. This is what communists do. They never show their hand, and this is what happens. This is what communist Merseyside does. They never show whatever they do. I hope they do realize they're only one injury away from having like a mediocre season.
Exactly. And I do think they're going to have a very mediocre season. It's not going to be like
You're
uh, you
being
know
you're being Mr. Savanas now.
no, I mean, I do think compared to the players that they had, it's pretty much the same team that played their championship winning side, and honestly, it's difficult to keep competing when other teams have been improving for 2 years. So
Mm.
that's what I feel like. I feel like they might make top four, but I don't think they'll be championship competing.
it they To be honest, even when they won the Premier League and the Champions League, they never competed in two fronts anyway. They do not have the squad depth to do that, because you need you need more than 11 players to play this game. It is what it is with Liverpool. But you know, Jack Grealish didn't do shit.
Exactly. Grealish wasn't good enough. Raheem Sterling wasn't good enough. I mean, I could name a
I
lot of players
That
that
boy
one.
Tanganga played really well, which was good. But uh, coming on to uh, transfer news and stuff. I was talking to Flo earlier. Tammy Abraham has left Chelsea as well, as of last night. He has joined Roma,
Mhm.
which brings our summer earnings up to 100 million, which is good by Chelsea, and we already spent 97 of it. But
Yeah, I think that's not bad. The fact that they are managing to let go of players like that, and I think today there's another a bit of news that Leon Goretzka has refused to sign a deal with Bayern. So
yeah,
next season he might go on a free, and Bayern might not like that. So there's a chance that we might wrap something up just before the end of the transfer window.
yep.
So that could happen as well. Um, let's see. I
I
think it might
mean,
be an interesting
happy
few
days,
days.
man. Happy
Yeah,
days. Apparently, Chelsea also have started talking with Saul Niguez as well, because Saul Niguez is a player that Chelsea have been looking at for a long, long time. They do hold him in high regards in Chelsea as well. I think in many clubs, Saul Niguez is held in high regards. Even at United, it's the same thing with Saul. But in my opinion, I it doesn't matter, because if we do need a little bit of depth in our midfield, but I don't think we do need a player of Saul Niguez's quality, because you need to give those game time as well to players in that stature. But if Chelsea buys Saul Niguez this season, I'll be a happy man. I wouldn't complain about it. It's excellent bit of business. But even so, it's the same thing that United are doing. If Pogba is to leave on a free next season, get the maximum out of Pogba, who is showing up, unlike some people. Hint, hint. And
exactly.
he is showing up. He is he is performing. I mean, performing in the sense his first game he performed very well. You can't ask more than that from a player. And also, you know, Leon Goretzka is not a bad replacement, but I think you need another player to replace what Pogba brings in. It's Goretzka
Exactly.
will not be enough.
Yeah, I think that's true. Goretzka is mostly for the central defensive role where we were anyway looking for somebody. It doesn't matter whether Pogba is there or not. We need a defensive holding midfield
Mid-
player, and that is what we're looking for. But if Pogba goes, I think there are other players that would come in. One would be like maybe someone like Kamavinga or and we also have a youth player coming up who plays exactly in Pogba's position. I think his name is Hannibal Mejri or
oh yeah,
something like that. Yeah, so he's pretty good. He had
Hannibal.
some minutes last season. Yeah, he has some minutes last season, and he reminds me just of Pogba when he was that age. So he has a great future here, and I think he might get some minutes if Pogba goes. He is a fantastic replacement. Maybe we don't even have to go to the transfer market to replace Pogba. That's what I feel like.
You
Uh,
might need to, bro. You know why?
it's like
Say
this:
what you
if
want
Pogba
about.
goes this season, yes. But if Pogba goes next season, I think there's something to think about because I think Hannibal is a fantastic replacement if you give him the time. But he might need somebody else to guide him along the way, maybe a bit more
you
experience.
need you need your experienced players, because whatever said and done, we all love to see academic players coming in and playing in the first team and so on and so forth. However, the academy players will only take you so far, right? Why is Greenwood able to play so well? Look who's behind him. Simply look who's behind him. Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba. I think one of the two best midfielders in the Premier League right now, with the best combination. And that's one of the reasons. Look at Phil Foden. Why is he thriving? He has the best players around him. Look at Mason Mount. He has some of the players behind him. It's that sort of way. But I mean, United looks set for the next couple of years. I
No,
am
the reason I
thinking
said
twice
that
or thrice.
was the reason I said where Hannibal might, be coming in is because of Scott McTominay's story. Because he didn't have any of the big midfield guys around him. Bruno Fernandes came, very recently, but McTominay was coming up even when LVG was playing. So he didn't have those players to guide him. So he did pretty well. And
Yeah.
not to forget that in midfield we have Michael Carrick to coach. So because of that, I think.
Yes, but you know something, bro. If tomorrow you sign Leon Goretzka and then Declan Rice, do you think Scott McTominay would start over there?
Uh, No, but I don't think we will go for Declan Rice. I think we might get rid of Fred and keep McTominay because if we do have to
Oh no, no,
play two in
McTominay
the
will
middle, it'll
stay.
be
I
Goretzka
think
and
McTominay
McTominay.
will stay. I
I
think
think McTominay
McTominay
has a
will
good
stay.
future. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, he will only benefit. He won't he won't reduce the stage that he is in. He will only benefit, which will be good more than bad. That's how I like
Yeah.
to look at it. But
Yeah.
uh, coming in we with other news, I was talking to Flo as well about it. Granit Xhaka has signed a 5-year deal with Arsenal, which is a bit ridiculous.
I thought he was on the verge of a move to, was it Roma? Oh,
Yeah, Roma offered a little less money, so Arsenal went and gave him a 5-year contract.
I don't understand what's going on over there. But
They
I
started the
mean,
transfer window so brilliantly. This is my problem with it.
and the thing is, I think Arteta might get the sack, and I
I
don't think
think
he'll
so
make it
as
to.
well.
I don't think he'll make it to the mid-season as well. I think if he can't at least get somewhere in the top six within the first 10 games, I think he'll be gone. That's what I feel like. 10
Yeah,
games
because
is what I
this
give him.
because this because these five fixtures is not the easiest fixtures that you can see. Not even for Chelsea, not for City, not for Tottenham, Liverpool, or Arsenal, right? But whatever said and done, we have a good manager who can cope with this thing, and we might be able to do something, right? And we invested in the correct place. City is brilliant as it is, and they lost the first game, which means they're going to win the next 10. Liverpool will do Liverpool things. Nuno is a far better manager than Arteta, and he will manage to do something. I feel like Arsenal are really in trouble here.
Yeah,
They might
I
turn up
think I
against
have a feeling
Chelsea.
that Tottenham might do really well. Yeah, but I
Hmm.
think Tottenham might do really well. They might be a surprise in the top four as well. Uh, yeah, I'm talking about the first 10 games. So, first 10 games, you might see Tottenham up there because I saw them play the other day against City, and it was really good because City couldn't
Oh, they
break them
played
down,
well. They played well.
and they were
They played
counter
well.
attacking. So, it was a great game to watch, and I think Tottenham might get there in the first 10 games from what I can see. And I don't think Arsenal can make it to the top six. So, because of that, I have a feeling that Arteta might not make it. That might be a good thing for Arsenal, just like what happened to Lampard and Chelsea. That might be a good thing
Yes,
for
but the
Arsenal.
thing is, bro, the difference is when Chelsea sacks a manager, we really back the manager who comes in next. And we had a brilliant squad for the next manager who comes in to manage. Who wouldn't want to manage Chelsea at this moment in time, right?
But maybe for
Antonio
Arsenal,
Conte,
because here's the thing,
right?
because I get what you're saying, you're absolutely correct, but maybe Arsenal are not looking for that. Maybe they are just looking for that new manager bounce. They just want the bounce to keep the fans happy for a little while. So maybe they just get a new manager down, win a couple of games,
Yes, but the
make it
problem
to
is,
the top
bro,
six.
proper managers in Antonio Conte and Zinedine Zidane would not come to Arsenal. The reason is, why did Antonio Conte didn't agree with Tottenham, given that Tottenham has invested more than Arsenal right now. The reason why he didn't agree is because they weren't willing to invest the amount of money that he wants to. Given that Arsenal hasn't invested anything close to what Tottenham has invested,
But here's the thing, right?
Antonio Conte won't come in.
For example, if I always look at it like this, why did Nuno go to Tottenham? Simple, because he is very good at getting players, good players, at cheaper prices, right? He's very good. He did that at Wolves, and if he had gone to Arsenal, Nuno had gone to Arsenal, I think he could have done much more with that 50 million, much more with that
Oh
50
yes,
million,
this is
right?
why I like. This is why I keep on saying. The best person who could have gone to Arsenal would have been Maurizio Sarri. He will work with what he has.
And not only that, I think there are certain managers that can get players for cheap. For
Sam
example,
Allardyce.
yeah, I mean, uh, if you say that Wolves had the entire Portuguese team, Wolves had the entire almost 70% of the Portuguese team playing there, and
Yeah.
to say, you would say, how the hell did they afford it? But they didn't pay, and exorbitant prices. They paid 20 million, 25 millions, things like that. I think the highest they paid was for Fabio Silva, some 37 million,
Yes, but
something like that.
even with Tottenham right now, they have invested heavily, bro. It's not like
They
they
have,
paid only 20-25 million, but they,
they
they,
have.
they invested
But
quite
I
big
think I
money.
think whoever is making the decisions at Arsenal keeps making
He's just
bad choices, where
idiot.
somebody like Nono could have come in and done much more with that 50 million. Maybe got three
No,
players
no,
for that 50
100%.
million who would do much
100%.
better.
For that 50
That's what I
million,
think.
they could have done many other things. There are so many other defenders they could buy for 50 million, to be honest. For crying out loud, Rafael Varane didn't cost 50 million.
Exactly, and
Given
they could have
he
gotten,
wouldn't come to Arsenal, but I'm just saying.
but maybe even Camavinga is 30 million or something. You can get
No,
Camavinga.
Camavinga apparently is a bit more higher. Apparently, I don't know.
Okay,
Something's there, but
30,
but
35
you
million.
see,
But I think
you
they
see
could have
Jules
more bang for
Kounde.
buck.
No, look at Jules Kounde, who Chelsea is gonna sign. He's gonna come in somewhere around 50 to 70 million. Give. Apparently, that's the rates. Apparently, but and also you can look at Kurt Zuma that Chelsea is gonna sell 30 something odd million. They want 20 to 30 million. You could buy Kurt Zuma. He's not a bad defender. He's a good defender. You can do so many things, but it is what it is with them. And Tilina, however, I think it's time for us to end the stream for today. I know you joined late as well, but I hope you will join us for the Arsenal Chelsea preview. Hopefully, we are trying to do on Friday
Oh,
or
and
Saturday.
also, we should tell everyone that we will be launching our own fantasy league so that they can
Oh
join.
yes,
Yeah.
oh yes.
So we'll be having some updates on that for the next one, I guess.
Yep, yep, 100%. So that's one of the reasons why we will be doing the. We will most probably be doing the fantasy league stream on Friday, and then the preview on Saturday, and then going into watch the game and see what's what. Then Flo also will also be free. And if any of you guys want to join our streams as well, please write to us on your comments or so on and so forth, so I can send you guys the link and you guys can join in as well. Anybody is welcome. Have your say always. This is Talk Football, made by a fan to for the fans as well. So we don't have any echo chambers. You can come and say whatever you want to say. So as always, please like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. Your help means a lot to us, and hopefully we will see you soon with more content. Tilna, anything else to say?
No, that's about it from my side. I'm happy. Looking forward to another happy week with maybe a few more goals.
Yep.
Best of luck to Arsenal and Chelsea. I hope it's a draw. Nobody comes away with points. Let's see. Big week coming up. And Fantasy League as well. I think you had a fantastic week with Fantasy League.
I didn't. You know what
So
happened to
let's.
me?
I thought you showed me a picture of Paul Pogba and Bruno on the same team.
No, I didn't have Bruno. You know what happened to me?
Oh,
I had stupid Aubameyang. Son of a bitch, he ruined my life.
all right, all right. We will do a proper Fantasy League session on the next one, and maybe hopefully everyone can get some points along the way.
Oh yes, 100%. All right, bro. Thank you and good night and good morning and have a wonderful day for people who are watching all around the world.